We avoided another government shutdown today. The House passed a bill to fund the government beyond the deadline that was looming this weekend. That means the Federal Emergency Management Agency, for one, won't run out of money that is desperately needed by victims of recent disasters. That made us wonder how the folks in Vermont are recovering after that terrible flood from Hurricane Irene. So we asked Wyatt Andrews to bring us up to date.
In central Vermont, the leaves are exploding with fall color like always. Businesses are ready for fall tourists like always. You call them leaf peepers?
We call them leaf peepers.
But waitress Cora Curtis has one question.
You're like, gosh, where are they?
Most years in Vermont, leaf viewing tourism is a $330 million industry. Route 100 here in Rochester is supposed to be packed with cars by now, and there are supposed to be lines for Cora's tables at the Rochester Cafe. Instead, she's bracing for a 25% loss in yearly income.
It's our busiest time of the year, and it generally runs about probably a month and a half, and we just haven't seen much business at all.
Rochester was one of the 13 Vermont towns once isolated when Irene's floodwaters cut all the roads and bridges into town. 50 families are still hiking out across a temporary footbridge toward school and to work. At the Liberty Hill Farm and Inn, owner Beth Kennett saw the flood wash away most of her corn and most of her fall reservations. How many guests did you have last night?
Last night I didn't have any.
Tourists have stayed away, she says, because they think the roads are still closed. But Route 100 opened into town 10 days ago.
The roads are open. You got here.
Most roads are now open because the state, knowing what's at stake, is racing to fix them all. For the last month, the state symbol of Vermont has been the road crew. More than 3,000 road workers converged on the state, and now, of the 260 roads that were heavily damaged or washed out by Hurricane Irene, only a handful remain impassable.
How are we doing, ladies?
They've lost business, they've lost homes, and are now losing income. But to most Vermonters, that means the worst is over, and they have not lost faith that the leaf peepers and the industry will find a way to return. Wyatt Andrews, CBS News, Rochester, Vermont.